Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Good to see you all. It's been quite a week with ups and downs and life itself. I first want to say Mazel Tov to the Handelmans, and particularly to Cassie, who you may not know it, but Cassie, put your arm out. I don't know which box you're in, but I'm in this one. See, now we're holding hands. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we're sitting next to each other on the bima because this is the evening before Cassie's bat mitzvah. And we're very excited and thrilled to have her here with her family and her extended family. And tomorrow we're going to be in person at Camp Laurelwood, but that's going to be just family, and everybody else is invited to join in the service at 10 a.m. So Mazel Tov to you, Cassie. You bring great joy to our hearts. And let's see, I do believe I saw Margot. Where's Margot? There she is, Margot. So Margot Marin just lost the love of her life, and we extend our sympathies to her on the loss of her husband, Dr. Charles Barr. And in Hebrew, we say to you, Hamakom Yenachem Etchem, may God comfort you among all who mourn in Zion and Jerusalem. And Margot, I was thinking about that phrase, about comforting, how the phrase we use says comfort amongst those who mourn. And I thought it really couldn't be more true than it is right now, because we mourn with you, because Charles Barr was an institution of the temple. And so we miss him, and we cry with you, and we ache with you, and we are holding you because that's what gives us comfort, is being together. And it also, I know that Margot knows so much. She is so wise about life itself, and that we are celebrating a bat mitzvah is gift. So Cassie, thank you for the gift of life that you bring to us, especially this evening. And Cantor Boyle, there she is. Cantor, I think that we need Shabbat more than ever. And so we're gonna sing Shalom Aleichem, please.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharis, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barkuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
I am going to ask the Handelman family to light our Shabbat candles. And before they actually light those candles, if they would read the reading on the screen, and then we will sing as they light. And anybody else who has Shabbat candles with them is welcome to light their Shabbat candles as well.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who gives us mitzvot by which to live and guides us to light the Shabbat candles. May they give us light. May they give us joy. May they give us
the service. Why don't you take?
And so we're going to turn now in our service to L'chadodi.
Lecha dodi likat kala yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha dodi likat kala yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor bezahor B'dibor echad Ishmianu el hamyochad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shemo tiferet v'litfila Lecha dodi likat kala yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha dodi likat kala yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Boi b'shalom ateret bala Gam besimcha ufsola Tochem olei hamsenola Boi chala Lecha dodi likat kala yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha dodi likat kala yadadai 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 Pnei Shabbat Nekabela.
We are holiness. We are blessed. We are filled and sustained by gifts imparted and ingrained. On Shabbat, we rest with intention. We breathe in the divine spirit and release the tumult of the week gone by. we take a few moments to simply be present. We rediscover our connection to our Creator. In that quiet moment of truth so profound, alone with our source, our own reflections, and we find that we have also found ourselves. We turn now to our Baruch Hu.
Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Yay, da, 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 da. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed.
O author of life and architect of creation, artist of earth, your works declare your holy name. Mighty rivers, turbulent seas, towering mountains, rolling hills, vast space of brilliance and grandeur. You created palette and pain, color and hue, shape and form, abundant and beautiful, glorious and majestic, full of mystery and wonder. Blessed are you, O God. With divine love, you created a world of splendor.
And I believe Cassie is going to be leading us tonight in our Shema and our Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher Elohi mitzavecha hayam alevavecha. V'shinatam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha v'lechtecha v'aderech u'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yetchem kedoshim Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet.
We're snapping for you, Cassie. Yafeh ma'od asit. Beautiful. Micha mocha. Who is like you, O God, who created heaven and earth from the Big Bang to the smallest subatomic particle? Who is like you, who set the planets in motion and brought light to their moons? Who is like you, who painted the sky blue and gave us the means to appreciate it. Who is like you, who rustled up the air we breathe and the earth we walk on, who gave us legs to stand on, hands to touch, a face to love? Who is like you, making yourself present in our deepest conversations, giving us children to love and love us? Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Nora tehilot, osei eret, Nora tehilot, osei eret, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh.
As we turn to our Hashkivenu, I know a Hashkivenu prayer at its essential core is saying to God, keep us safe. Keep us safe, God. Spread that sukkah of peace over us and keep us safe. And this evening, we have to think of our Asian American friends who yearn for safety, who deserve safety, and have experienced less than that. We pray that they will know that we stand with them and we are them and they are us. And we sing Hashkivenu, keep us safe, all of us, God.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Upras aleinu, sukat shlomecha, l'chaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Hope is the opposite of cynicism. Say, despite what is probable, everything is possible. Say that we are only limited by our imagination. Say that the universe abundantly provides. Be like the sunflower. Scan the heavens for the light. Turn always toward the light.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam לדורותם ברית עולם. בני ובן בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת באי נפש, שבת באי נפש, שבת באי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
I cannot see the wind at all or hold it in my hand, and yet I know there is wind because it swirls in the sand. As we get ready for the Amidah, we realize that God is very much like this, invisible as air. We cannot see or touch God, yet we know that God is there because we can glimpse God's wondrous works and goodness everywhere. And I'm delighted to call Cassie forward to lead us in our Amidah.
Adonai, Sefer Tiftach Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagipor v'Ha'el, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Likonei HaKol, V'zocher Hasteavot v'Imaot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Ve'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Megain Abraham, Be'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atav Rav Le'oshia, Mashiv HaRuah, U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalchel Hayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Holim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Memit, U'Mekayem, U'Matmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Kedoshim b'chol yom v'halu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Endless rows of trees and plants, flying birds and crawling ants, the sun in the morning blue sky, the moon in the evening rising high, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. The world is made of many dreams. Dashing colors streak the sky, beautiful even to the strictest eye. Snails on the ground, bees in their hive. Our duty is to keep all this alive. And as we think of the trees and the beauty of nature, I know right now we're at that turning point between winter and spring. It's March 19th. There's a debate. Some say spring begins March 20th. Some say it begins March 21st. I say it begins when you see those first buds on the trees, and we've seen the ground open to the beauty of color and flowers, and the snow is almost melted. And you look at those trees and study them for buds. And I don't know if I see them just because I want to see them, or if they're really there, struggling to come out. So March 19th, March 20th, Ogden Nash, if you love Ogden Nash, then you'll go with March 21st, because he wrote a poem around that date. And as I look up at the trees and will them to bud, I want to quote Ogden Nash and say, listen, buds, it's March 21st. Don't you know enough to burst? So we'll think about the gift of nature bursting as we continue with a silent prayer.
Shalom Bimroma. Oh, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Ve'yakol Yoshvei Tevel. Ve'imru.
So we have been reeling after the massacre in Atlanta this week. We've been stunned. Some say we shouldn't be stunned. I want to continue to be stunned by acts of violence that are stunning and inconceivable. And we're sending great love to all Asian American people and to the beloved Asian American people in our TBT community, and to all family members, and to all those who are grieving and afraid. May a sukkah of peace spread over all those who are shaking and angry and afraid. There's been a lot of reference on TV and the radio and in the news, and we all hear it, to the Asian American community. And our hearts go out to the Asian American community. And at the same time, I feel that in some ways, our best respect for Asian Americans is to both honor that they constitute a community, and also that they are part of our community, that we are community together. And I've always felt that the best way to feel the experiences of others is to bring it down to the personal. And so I have been thinking especially about Asian American people that I know. And after the massacre, I thought in particular about my friend and colleague, Rabbi Angela Buckdahl, who is the senior rabbi at Central Synagogue in New York City. And she is herself Asian American. And I thought how hard it must be for her to be personally shaken, at the same time to have to minister to others. And I wanted to know where her head was and where her heart was, and what she would have to say, and how she might teach us. And then lo and behold, I learned that she indeed shared her words herself. And in this Zoom universe in which we live, we can have some guest speakers at our beck and call. And so permit me to invite Rabbi Buckdahl to our virtual bima, and let her words permeate our being. So please, Rabbi Cantor Angela Buckdahl. These are words she shared at an interfaith moment just yesterday.
Thank you so much. So I was born in Seoul, and I immigrated to this country when I was 5. And I now serve as the senior rabbi of Central Synagogue, which is in Midtown Manhattan, where I've been for about 14 years. We are a congregation that has Asian and other Jews of color among us. And we're also a faith community that knows what it's like to be scapegoated and targeted by hate. My Korean mother, because she was married to my Jewish American father, became a naturalized citizen before she even immigrated to this country at the age of 35 with her 2 biracial daughters in tow. But even with citizenship, she wasn't exactly made to feel at home here. Though she had a master's degree, she found it nearly impossible to find a job. And with her very strong accent, she was constantly spoken down to or treated as ignorant. Children would make slanty eyes behind her back, or sometimes to my face. And I'll never forget when a man who had some road rage yelled at my mother, "Go back to your country." But America is her country. And being American is something she is deeply proud of. But like so many Asian Americans today, she's made to feel like a stranger in her own home. And now for the first time, I have to worry when my strong but tiny mother goes for a walk outside alone. This recent surge in anti-Asian and Pacific Islander violence is a horrific reminder that when people are seen as the stranger, the outsider, It leads to dehumanization and to harassment and even violence. Taunts like, take your China virus back to your own country, can lead to devastating consequences. But as people of faith, as we are, not only across this screen, but all of you who are joining us virtually, we know that our religious imperative goes beyond speaking against hate or speaking up for those who are vulnerable. God also wants us to listen deeply and to empathize, to understand that the fate of that stranger is inextricably tied to our own. So I just want to end with a story, which is that this past fall, my 18-year-old son spent 3 months living in South Korea. It was his first extended time living outside of New York City. He spent his first 14 days in the country in quarantine in a 9x12 little motel room, and he emerged onto the streets of Seoul just hours before the holiday of Rosh Hashanah, which is our Jewish New Year, began. And he spent part of the holiday in a tiny progressive Jewish community, part of the holiday with Chabad, and part of the holiday all by himself. And he called me afterward and he said, you know, Mom, in some ways this was my least Jewish high holidays. I wasn't with my family. I didn't go to all the services. There are so few Jews here. But in another way, I've never felt more Jewish in my life. Oh, what do you mean? I asked him. And he responded, I really understand for the first time what it means to feel like a stranger. I thought to myself, well, if that's the only thing my son took from all his years of Jewish education, dayenu, as we say, that would be enough. This coming week, the Jewish community will be celebrating Passover, which is our most important holiday of freedom. And the religious mandate of this holiday is to remember what it was to be the stranger. We were once slaves, but we know freedom is possible. And the force of that memory commands empathy and love for the stranger, because we know the soul of a stranger. That's the essence of this holiday. Perhaps it's the essence of a religious life, because we all know we will not be free until God's promise of redemption is for everyone. Thank you so much for convening us today and for gathering.
And thank you, Rabbi Buckdahl, for sharing your words with us, for pointing us towards Passover, when indeed we have to live. We're reminded that we were slaves in Egypt, and therefore we need to understand the heart of slavery and ensure that others are not enslaved and that others are free. And the words of Micah come to me. May each live under their vine and fig tree, and let none make them afraid. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may that be God's will, and may it be our will, and may our thoughts and our deeds and our speech and our words and our hands and our feet and our hearts be consonant with that vision of freedom from fear and freedom to love and rejoice and to live as we each deserve to live. Amen.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you. Be acceptable to you.
We prepare now for our Misha Berach prayer, our prayer for healing. And as I recite names for whom we pray, I invite you as well to add names into the chat of those who are in need of the sustenance of our support and of God's healing. And this week we include in our prayers Jack Davis, Bonnie Stoddard, Josh Lipschutz, Patty Hayes, Joan Sidney, David Char, April D'Amato, Rich Halprin, Andrea Schaffner, Alan Rosenthal, Deborah Poulin, Galen Sam Feidelberg, Dolly Weinzimmer, Teresa Regina Ambrosino, Bill Spinelli, Gloria Newell, Sabin Meyer, Ben Peck, Martha and Mark Potter, Jennifer Murphy, Mariel Sheepers, Elizabeth Powers Brown, Ira Weiss, Tina Chamak, Andrea Waite, Ken Silberstein, Diane Hinson, Eric Weiler, Amy Ostreicher, Matthew Pincus, Bart Young, Maris McNeil, and Sydney Scher. And we also include in our prayer those that we are adding to the chat and those in our hearts with our Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And I'm going to put a spotlight on Jeff Babin, who has some announcements to share.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Jeff Babin, immediate past president on the board of directors. A warm welcome to any guests with us tonight. It's great to be together this evening, and especially a mazel tov to the Handelman family. And we have lots of Shabbat opportunities for you tomorrow. We start with Jewish meditation at 8 a.m., followed by Torah study at 9. And then at 10 a.m., we have Shabbat service with the bat mitzvah of Cassie Handelman. Links to all these events are in your inbox. Next Friday evening, services will be pre-recorded, available to you to view at your convenience, and then you can join the live oneg at 8 p.m. Passover begins a week from tomorrow. TBT is hosting a second night Seder, Sunday evening, March 28th. Everyone is welcome. Our Zoom table can fit any size crowd. While not required, your RSVP to the office is very helpful for our planning. Further information can always be found on our website at www.tbtshoreline.org. Again, Shabbat Shalom, and congratulations to the Handelman family. See you all tomorrow.
Thank you, Jeff. And Jeff and the Handelmans, you may not know, we go to great lengths when we select people to do the announcements. And it just so happens that Jeff and Marlene share something as parents with Cassie, because their twins had the same Torah portion that you have tomorrow. So,
Yes.
so and what a
Perfect
group
timing.
of people. What a group of people. And I'll hasten to add that Nancy and that our daughter Jill had the same Torah portion also. So, and they all came out just fine. So you're headed in the right direction, Cassie. We're going to continue in our service now with Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula leyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
As we prepare for our Kaddish, we share these words of reflection. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. This time, we remember those who are in the first 30 days of mourning. We remember Louise Higgiston, dear friend of Hattie Sussman, and we remember Dr. Charles Barr, husband of Margot Marin and beloved member of Temple Beth Tikvah. We remember as well those for whom we observe Yortzeit: Justine Boyle, Jenny Sohn, Susan Konigsberg, Milton Lerner, Viola Olbaum, Eileen Retzker, Ruth Streitfeld, Irene Wyman, Alice Fryer, Leo Kessler, Yitzhak Privner, Malcolm Schneider, Bella Privner, Jeanette Siegel, Eleanor Zimmerman, Stephen H. Sack, Geraldine Eber, David Bryan Davis, Rose Burstein, and Herman Spiegel. If there are others whose names you would like to include in our Kaddish this evening, please do so in the chat as we turn now to Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. Yigadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. V'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, for all who mourn, and all the world. As together we say, Amen. This evening, we, because it's Cassie's bat mitzvah, we have a special closing song, and then Cassie's going to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi so that we can have a bit of an oneg together. And so the words, you know, but Cassie's going to join Cantor Boyle on the bima and help lead us in this rendition of Adon Olam.
So I don't know if there's any way to spotlight the both of us, but I'm happy to invite Cassie up to the bima for this last song. It's a little repeat after me. So I'm going to do a line, and then you can all sing along with Cassie on the repeat part. And it goes like this. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefsa Kol, Azai Malek Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Be'acharei Kiflot HaKol, Levado Yimlok Nara Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoben, Ve'hu Yeh V'tifara Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefsa Kol, Azai Malek Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Be'yado Afkid Ruchi, Be'et Ishan Be'a'ir Adon Olam, Be'im Ruchi Geviati, Adonai Li V'lo Yira Adon Olam. Okay, Cassie, this time you start.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yir Nivra,
Tzir Nivra,
Yeit Nasa,
Li'et Nasa,
V'hepsik
Kol, Azai Malek Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Yafeh ma'od. Yafeh ma'od. And Cassie, if you would now find yourself a Kiddush cup. And everybody, if you've got a Kiddush cup or a little challah, you're welcome to it. And whenever you are ready, we're going to screen share the words and please lead us in our Kiddush.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagashem.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila, mikre kodesh, זכר לציח מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, אותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Amen. L'chaim. Beautifully done. And is there a challah in the house? Oh, yum. Okay. Whenever you're ready, Cassie.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Mateavon. And if you want to just reach that towards the microphone and the speaker and the, yeah, oh, yum. Oh, that was
Cassie, I have to ask, did you bake that challah yourself?
No, we did not, but
I know you're a baker, so I was curious.
No, that one looks to me like it's a Zomix challah. Is that right? Yeah. Oh, those are great.
She's been
Yum.
busy this week.
Do we get Zomix tomorrow? Oh, good. And yeah, Cantor, so we'll be able to actually
Great.
taste it with them. Well, thank you all for coming. We're going to put it on gallery view and people can turn their mics off. I mean, their mutes off if they like. And give a shout out to Cassie and see how.
Mazel tov, Cassie.
Mazel tov, Cassie.
tov.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom, guys.
Mazel tov, Cassie. Congratulations.
You rocked it.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Was wonderful, Cassie.
Yeah, you are so ready for tomorrow too. That's great. See, and you got Nathan there taking good notes. Did I see? Yeah, I saw. Oh, Indies. Yeah, they're here too. They're just not showing their face. And Lexi Handelman, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
Good. You feeling good?
Yep.
Good. Are you proud of your sister?
Yeah. I'm social distancing in my room because I was contact traced. So I'm gonna be double masking and staying like 20 feet away from you guys.
And you know what? And they're still going to feel your love because that will cross any distance.
Maybe you could like bling out your mask or something. And, do something really fancy
you're very
with it.
crafty.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. You could bedazzle it or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you can. And it's nice to see, oh, yeah, Roz Fenton there and Lisa, but especially Roz. Yeah, that's great. How's life at Evergreen Woods these days? Have things opened up at all? Yeah, she's on mute.
I
Oh,
think
there
I'm
it
gonna
is.
echo.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. All right, we'll find out later. Because you have the phone. Gotcha. Boy, we've learned so much, haven't we? How to do this.